Hey, what's up guys? Ivan Barnes here. Today's video is how to deal with a cancer diagnosis. Yep, that's right, cancer. It's a heavy topic, and I never thought I'd be making a video on dealing with cancer, but that's changed because I've been dealing with it. So here we go. So really quick, just to catch you guys up, it's December now. Back in April, I had a bump on my forearm, okay? I thought it was from yard work. My wife kept bringing it up. What's that bump on your arm? You need to go get that checked out. I'm like, don't worry, it's from yard work or it's from something. It'll go away. I really thought nothing of it. It was just a little bump. These things happen. Sometimes you get bumps and they go away. This one didn't go away. So finally, fast forward a couple months, I think it was probably like March when we first started noticing that bump and the bump getting bigger. April, I went, got a doctor's opinion. They said, that's a weird place for a bump. This is all at Kaiser Permanente, by the way. So today's product review is Kaiser Permanente. Kaiser Permanente's healthcare, or Thrive with Kaiser, right? I got the first checkup. Doctor said, oh, that's in a weird place. Like, why don't you go see a specialist? So then I saw a specialist. They agreed, that's kind of a weird place. Why don't you go see an orthopedic surgeon? Get a second opinion on this bump. So I saw an orthopedic surgeon at West LA Medical Facilities here in Los Angeles. And he said, let's cut it out, let's excise it. It's in a weird place, sometimes our bodies, they'll grow benign tumors, and let's cut it out and we'll run a biopsy on it just to rule out the 1% chance that it could be cancer. I said, okay, sounds good. So I went in for my first surgery. They completely knocked me out. It was like, it's a full surgery. And they excised the mass, ran it through diagnostics to pathology, came back, and I got a call. It was taking a long time from that first surgery. So I got a call back about 4 weeks later. Doctor's on the line. I pick it up, I'm at work. Hey doctor, how's it going? Oh, it's going pretty good. So the lab results have come back, and you have a myxoinflammatory fibroblastic sarcoma that's there in the arm. And I said, I said, are you telling me I have cancer? And he's like, yes, you have a form of cancer. It's a very rare form. And whoo, talking about like my mind going in slow motion and just like, holy crap, I've got cancer. And he started telling me that it's a high-grade cancer. It's a rare form of cancer, a high-grade form of cancer. So getting that diagnosis, it was the hardest part of this journey. Like that day, getting that news, just like I said, it sent my mind in a spiral. I was like, holy crap. I was out in Venice Beach. Like I got off I'm like, well, what now? And he's like, well, next steps is oncology will reach out to you and they'll be in touch for next steps, but you're likely going to need another surgery because I didn't get it all out. It's still in there. I could see more of the tumor in there, but the way it was crawling along your nerves and into your muscles, he's like, I didn't want to do damage to your arm. So I was like, okay, great. I got more of this high-grade tumor in my arm. They're going to contact me in regards to next steps. Holy macaroni. So then anyways, I went for a walk on the beach and I was like, okay, let me wrap my head around this. Like every problem in my life, I'm like, okay, let me just think about this. And man, it's so hard. It's so hard when you get that news. And it's like, I did some quick Google searches and it looked like, people with this form of cancer don't have too long to live. Like the prognosis isn't very long. It's an aggressive form that spreads and it gets into your lungs or your other organs and shuts them down and then you die. And I've got 2 kids and a wife and I like to be alive. I got 2 puppies. It's a joy to be alive. My advice to you, if you have just been diagnosed with cancer or if anyone else has just been diagnosed, The advice that was given to me by a total stranger, I've seen this guy a few times out in Venice Beach. I walk the ocean, and I'm like, let me get my head in a good place, but there's no amount of walking, no amount of nature, meditation, etc. that could have got my mind in a good place at that time. What I needed was another human to say, listen, we can't control what happens in our lives, but we can be strong. So that's what I had to do. I had to just embrace that and be strong. And he said, you know what? You need to go home to your wife. You're married? You need to go to your wife right now. You need to be in her arms. You need to go through this together. And I mean, best advice ever. I was like, came straight home, told the wife, hey, sit down on the couch. I told her the news. Obviously, it rocked our world, very emotional, very hard, but we approached it one step at a time. So it was, the next step was going to see the doctors, getting in there for, more scans. I had to do CT scans. Oh yeah, here we go. To make sure that the cancer, the tumor that was in my left forearm hadn't spread to my organs. So we did the scans, we did the tests. Quick note on that, like when we were calling to get those tests in, Kaiser was like, well, the soonest availability we have is about a month out. We were already planning to be in Italy at that time. And, it was like a month out. Well, isn't this really important? So my wife got on the phone and, after like crying and screaming and yelling at various folks that work at Kaiser, we finally were able to get into a CT scan like later that day. But at first it was a month out, but these are important. It's important to get those diagnostic tests. So that kind of sucked. That was a definite thumbs down with the Kaiser experience. Having to go through that is like it's important to know if the cancer is spreading, and I feel like those CT scans and those MRIs should be done like immediately, as soon as possible after that happens. Got in for those tests. Those tests came back clear. Got in with the specialty surgeon that was going to do the next surgery. He talked to me about what we had going on. He had read the test. Fortunately for me, the cancer hadn't spread at all, so that was freaking awesome. And so anyways, he said, you can go to Italy, have a good time. When you get back, we're going to start the radiation. So I got back to LA, started going through radiation therapy. What's up, guys? So I just pulled up here at the Kaiser facilities for my first radiation therapy appointment, and man, I got these butterflies in my stomach, man. Feeling nervous, about this. Look at this arm right here. This is the arm right there. You can kind of see the scar, but yeah, I might come out of here with some tattoos today. I think they have to tattoo me permanently for just to line up the radiation device that goes on. But hey, man, one step at a time. Here we go. Sunset Boulevard. So it's day one here. Just showed up for the first treatment. I got some Miles Davis playing for me today. Take good care of me here. One thing, man, when I lay down in that bed to get the radiation treatment on the arm, it's funny, like the technicians, after they get me all there, like, all right, Mr. Barnes, and then boom, they're out of the room, man. They're not hanging around when that radiation gets to zapping my arm, man. So that part's a little funny, that part's a little sus. Like, dude, if they don't even want to be in the room when I'm getting all this treatment on my arm, it's like, damn, it makes you think, like, what else is that radiation doing to my body? But hey, I still, I've got faith in the Western medicine, and I think it's, that's part of it too. You just got to go where your faith is and what you believe in, because that's a huge part to healing. So yeah, I always get a ticket and they validate it for me, which, you know, it's a pretty nice perk to have free parking when you're... Come on, scan it.
The gate is open.
Oh yeah,
Please
but
drive through.
nice to have free parking when you're up in Hollywood. So you got that part right, Mr. Kaiser.